Yes, guys. Welcome back to another stream and another calling show. Hopefully, you guys are all well. We've got lots to discuss today. The rumours about Pep Guardiola to manage England. We've got some Ballon d'Or nominations, and we're going to have a general chat about the start of the season. Obviously, 4 games into the league, 100% win record. Lots to discuss. If you've never been on a calling show before, to get on, you have to be over 18, first of all. No minors on the channel, and become a YouTube member. So the link is to become a member is down in the description, or you can click the join button. And then once you're a member, if you go to the community tab, you'll see a specific link to join the stream. And yeah, you just have to be a member, basically. But let's not waste any time. We've got Luke. Let's bring him on. If we can bring him on, if we know how to work this bloody thing. There we go. Yes, bro. You've been on a few times.
Hello,
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, good to be back on the calling show, mate. Thanks
how
for
you doing?
Me.
You good?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm buzzing with how the season has gone so far. I've actually genuinely been really impressed with how we started. Like, I've been saying for some time that I think it was important that we get off to a decent start, because of Saudi Arabia in December, and I just feel that like this year is going to take its toll on us. And I've been really sort of saying for a long time we need to get off to a good start this year. We can't be having like starts where we've had in the past where we just kick on in January. Now, having watched the other teams, I actually don't really think it matters that much because I think we're just miles better than them anyway. But I've been buzzing with how we've been. Like, the first 2 games were great. Sheffield United, look at Sheffield United, right? People are like, oh, yeah, weren't that great. If you look at the chances we missed in that game, we could have won that game 5-1, beat Fulham 5-1. Absolutely buzzing. But, yeah, I mean, what have you made of the start, bro?
You just said that Forest game then. No, not Forest game. That Sheffield game. Yeah, Sheffield United game. It reminds me of the Forest game last year. You know, the 1-1?
Yep.
It reminded me of that, and I was like, oh, here we go again. It's going to be one of them. But us getting that goal then was so important. Like, it was so important for us to bounce back like the way we did. Like, because you know how the season kind of went last year when we thought, like, oh, no, shit, here we go. We're going to drop it. We're going to bottle it. And I don't know why we doubted it, because we didn't. But, yeah, to start the season off like that, man, looking good. It's looking good.
No, it has. And if you look at the fixtures coming up as well. I mean, I do think that the West Ham game could be tricky, but you should still be winning it. You've got Nottingham Forest at home, and they got Wolves away. Like, realistically, that should be another 9 points. That's going to put us on 21 points after 7 games. Hopefully 100% win record. I know football doesn't always work like that. I'm aware of that, but then we've got a really tough run. Like, how important is it for you to get 3 more wins? Because obviously you've probably heard me many times go through our fixtures in October and September. It is pretty, October and November. It is pretty wild. Like, for me, getting 9 points out of the next 3 games, I think is crucial, man.
I think it's important. I wouldn't say it's like crucial to do it. As long as we come out the other side on top of everybody else and we get 2 out of the 3 wins and we don't lose a game, I'll be happy. If we draw against West Ham and then win the other 2 games, I will be happy. I'll be lying if I said I wouldn't be happy. But come on, we want 3 points in every game. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I won't be disappointed if we don't know.
No, I hear what you're saying. Especially, I think as well, my mind's probably changed because of how I've watched Arsenal, and I'm not watching Arsenal play. And I'm like, nah. Yeah, I mean, I know it's only 4 games, right? And people say it's only 4 games, but they just don't look the same to me. I don't know. I just think they look weird. Something ain't right. I know obviously they beat United, but that ain't really that difficult at the moment. And
well, I mean, look at United's defense that game, man. Come on now. Like, come
on.
When you're relying on like Johnny Evans and fucking Harry Maguire to get you over the line, you know it's curtains.
Well,
so
I know.
Let's not worry about that.
I know exactly. No, I'm just so buzzing, man, with how the season's gone so far. Like, it started so much better than I thought. And the first couple of games, the Burnley game, like that's. I know obviously they've not started too well, but we were so good in that game. I thought Newcastle.
I'm sorry for Burnley, man.
You do? Why?
Yeah, I don't know, because I want them to do well in it. I want them to do well because of company in that. I don't know. They don't look right this year.
It's going to take time. It's going to take time for them, I think, if because the way he plays football, he's obviously plays that open, expansive football, and you've seen it with Pep in the first year. You remember getting battered off like Everton away. You know what I mean? Like, it takes time, and of course, it's going to take even longer for Burnley because they've got inferior players to what we had. However, for Burnley, I do think that he'll get them playing the right way. And I think he clearly believes it. You know, I've seen an interview that he done last week or something, and he was like, I still believe that this squad of players can play this style of football, and it's
it's that old saying, trust the process, isn't it?
Exactly,
You know?
and that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. Big up to Bevel, by the way, just become a YouTube member. Big up Bevel. I don't know if you want to come on the show, lad, but if you do, head over to the community tab and you'll see a members only post. What have you made of this England stuff, bro? Pep to manage England. I've not really spoke about it, to be fair, on the channel, but what have you made of it? Would you have him?
I don't know,
Are you English?
Yeah, I am, mate. I am very much so. Good old Bolton over here. No, I mean, like, it's not going to happen. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen because we know what Pep's like, and we know the loyalty he has to Barca, let alone the country of Spain. So I think he will go into international management, and I do think he'll manage Spain at some point. I do genuinely believe that.
How does that work though? You know, because he's doing the whole Catalan, what's it called, Catalonia independence thing. So does he? I don't know. Like, I'm just genuinely asking. Does he actually have like a desire to manage Spain? Like,
oh, I don't know if he's got a desire to do it, mate. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I've not heard that anywhere. It's just my personal opinion. Like, I think I can see that happening. It's something I can see happening at some point. He'll want to win like a World Cup winner. He'll want to win like a Euros. He wants to win everything.
How would you feel though? Yeah, because I was thinking, right, I don't know how to feel because on one hand I'm like, I don't want him to leave City because I'm greedy because I want to keep winning all these. But if he was to win a World Cup, that would be insane. Also, I think if he was to win a trophy with England, I think that would cement him above Alex Ferguson as like. I think even like apart from Man United fans, I think most fans in this country, if he was to win a trophy with England, would say he's above Fergie. And I think for me, that's kind of like that's also kind of like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I don't know, man.
Well, he might be the first. Would he be the first ever manager to win a Champions League and a World Cup, or someone done both?
Wow,
might be being like really stupid there, you know. But
nah, I don't know, man. That is a trivia and a half.
Might want to be the first guy.
Yeah, maybe someone in the chat can let us know. Oh, yeah, we got Bevel in as well, man. Let's get Bevel on. Bevel, can you hear us, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, not bad. You all right?
Yeah. We're all well. I mean, we were speaking before about the start to the season. I mean, what have you made of it? I know I say City 100% win record, but what have you made of Arsenal as well? And that's pretty much the only rival.
I think Arsenal have been a bit disappointing, really. I think they've not looked anywhere near as good as they were last year. I don't think that the signings that they brought in are, I suppose, living up to the mark at the moment. I know it's early days, but we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know what it is, man, because like they brought in Rice, who's obviously a good signing. Still, I think he's overhyped a little bit. I do think he's a good player, but I do think they overhype him a little bit. Yeah. And you know, other than that, I mean, they've not really changed too much. But I agree, and I can't put my finger on it. You know, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether teams that are playing them are a little bit more. They get the tactics a little bit more, so that they're better able to deal with Arsenal than what they were maybe previously last year. Whether the Arsenal have literally just dropped down a couple gears, maybe they're not able to go again. Like they obviously would have took the Premier League loss last year, like badly, you know what I mean? Because it was their opportunity. Maybe they've just not recovered. I literally don't know, man. But I watched him now a couple of games, right? What games have I watched him in? I watched the Forest game. I think that was the opening day of the season. I thought they were very lucky there. They won 2-1, and for some reason, Forest just didn't throw anything at them at the end. Obviously, got a very lucky win against Palace with the penalty. 2-2 against Fulham. Very, very lucky again. Nothing really to write home. And then, obviously, beating United 3-1. At the moment, that's nothing to write home about. So, it's weird. I know it's only 4 games, but something ain't right there. Something ain't right there. Have you got any sort of logical explanation as to what it could be? Like,
I just think last season, I think it was a bit of a freak season for them. I think they set the bar too high. I think Liverpool dropping off, Chelsea dropping off, I think that sort of paved the way for them a little bit. And I just think overall, like, I think they've come into this season expecting to do the same. And, you know, if you look over the last few seasons, bar last year, they've been like a top 4, top 5. And I just think that last year was a bit of a fluke for them, really. And I think they've just come in and just expected to just do the same again. And I don't think that's going to be the case.
Do you reckon they've got like lost in their own hype in a way? Like they really believed it. Like they really believed it. Like they thought they was going to do it, and then when they dropped off at the end, they kind of thought, maybe this is the reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bit of a reality check for them. You don't know. They might go on to challenge this year. You don't know. But
yeah, no, maybe. I mean, to be fair, what you just said then, Bevel, I've said about United. Yeah, I mean, like I know people who, like I said about United. Yeah, last year they were not a top 4 team. Last year they were not. They weren't that good. You know what I mean? The reason they got top 4 is because Chelsea finished 12th and Liverpool finished 5th, and Tottenham completely collapsed. They shouldn't really finish inside the top 4. They look at the Carabao Cup that they won. They played no one until the final where they played Newcastle. By the way, they were the worst team in the final. Newcastle were the better team. And in the FA Cup, they didn't play no one until the semi-final when they played Brighton, only won that on penalties, and then lost in the final. I know I can't sit here and like take anything away from it because at the end of the day, they did win the trophy and they did finish in the top 4. But you can put context to it and say, well, yes, well done for winning this and well done for getting top 4. However, you shouldn't really have done that. You know what I mean? Like it's one of them. That's why I was calling out tonight like a couple of weeks ago before everyone else, saying I think question marks needs to be asked about this guy because I see red flags, and maybe the same, maybe not to the same extremes, but maybe you can say the same about Arsenal. I think it's.
Who do you reckon had a better season over Arsenal or United last year?
I say United. In terms of outcome, I'd say United. Who's probably come away from that season feeling more positive about the future? Probably Arsenal, because I think they look like I agree with Bevel, like they probably didn't deserve to get that high or that many points or whatever, like, but you can still see they're a good team, right? No one's sitting there going Arsenal not a good team. We all know Arsenal a good team. Maybe they did a little bit better last year than maybe they ought to have done. But even at the end of last year, when United won a trophy, got to the final of the FA Cup and finished in the top 4, I was still like, these guys are miles away from where we are. So, yeah, in terms of output, United, but in terms of like for future, Arsenal. Why do you disagree?
I don't disagree with you, 100%. Like if I was in one of their fans' shoes, and what team would I have preferred to support last year? It pains me to say, but it probably would have been United because they won a trophy and you got something to celebrate. Whereas Arsenal's whole campaign was hype, disappointment. It ended in disappointment.
But then, as soon as the season's over, and then you start thinking about,
then you look back at it, you're like, "Oh shit, we did it right."
You would have rather been in it.
You don't get anything for finishing second, do you? So
exactly, which is why
they got a charity shield.
That's true. Actually, it's done you there, Bevel. To be fair, you do actually. You do get the charity shield. Nah, but that's why finishing second to 5th. Obviously, it's going to be 5th now. It makes no real difference, really. Do you know what I mean? Like you would like to be second and competing for the title, but ultimately, like you said, like there ain't really no difference, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's a crazy one. Bevel, what have you made of the links for Pep to England? Do you think that's something that he might be interested in international football?
It's gone from like Serena Wiegman to Pep in the space of like 2 weeks. So I think it's all just talk, to be honest. I don't think, I mean, by employing Southgate to begin with, I don't really think they knew what they were doing. But I just think it's just talk. It's just transfer season's over, give something for the papers to write about.
Yeah, no, yeah, because the rumors are that he's going to step down right at the end of the Euros, which I think's right. I think his time is up. Yeah, but like, who do they get in that? I mean, let's be honest. If they can afford him, they are going to try and get him because he's the best manager on the planet. It's a case of, can they afford him? Because in the finances, isn't that the reason that they went for Southgate in the first place? Am I making that up? Didn't they want someone else? Maybe I'm making this up. I'm sure they wanted someone else.
Yeah, I think they did. I can't remember who it was though. But I think.
Do you remember who it was? I'm sure England wanted someone else, and then they were. Oh, maybe I'm just waffling. Then, yeah, I thought they wanted someone else, or maybe it goes back to the Redknapp days. You know, when they wanted Redknapp, and I think they went for Hodgson instead. Maybe it was that. But yeah, I mean, if they can afford Pep Guardiola, they'll definitely try and get him because it's best. It's just a case of, do they actually go for him, and two, would Pep take that job? I don't know.
Someone in the chat's put Tuchel. Does that ring a bell?
Tuchel, yeah, maybe it was him. I don't know. I can't remember now. I'm sure there was something though about the finances back then. But listen, I don't know, man. Like I say, I don't want him to go because from a City point of view, like I'm getting greedy on the trophies and that. But I think if he went to England and won a trophy with England, I think people would then in this country say he's a better manager than Ferguson, which I already think he probably is anyway. But I think it would then be sort of well, exactly, yeah. And I just think it will become more widely accepted, other than United fans, and that would be something that would make me smile. You know what I mean? So, and let's. We had another guest on, but he's got off. Bell, I was asking Luke before about the next 3 fixtures, Premier League only. I think they're quite important. I think West Ham away could be tricky, but then you got Forest at home, Wolves away. If we can get 9 points there, that puts us on 21. Ahead of that, let's be honest, quite frankly, ridiculous schedule of October and November, which I just remind people again before Bevel, as he says, Arsenal away, Brighton at home, Man United away, Bournemouth at home, Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, Tottenham at home, Villa away. And by the way, there's also Champions League game schedule in between there as well. How important are these next 3 games, man, so we can sort of take a little bit of a cushion into October and November, where, like I say, the fixtures are crazy.
Absolutely massive. I read a stat the other day that was, I think this is our most points that we've had since 2017-18 from a start to a season. So I think as well, with Kyle coming out the other day and saying that they wanted to go and hit the ground running and they wanted to kind of run away with it a bit, I think if we can go collect 9 points in the next 3 games, I think it sets us up for that horrible couple of months or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to be an interesting one. Luke, let me come to you on this year. Got Champions League starts on the 19th of September. Of course, it is an easy group, really, so it shouldn't be too taxing on the sort of team in terms of getting through. You also have the Carabao Cup, which starts 27th of September, Newcastle. That could obviously be tough. As I said earlier in the streams, you've got the Saudi Arabian Club World Cup in December, and then obviously FA Cup starts back, 2024. Do you think City have the squad to compete for all these trophies? I've seen a few people actually in a recent comment. I can't remember which video I did. So it's a couple of people in the comments saying we should potentially look at throwing that Newcastle game and just getting out of it because we've got too much. Where are you at with that? Do you think we've got the squad?
I don't know about throwing any games, mate, but rotation's key in it. And I think now we've got Núñez coming in, we can kind of help out Rodri a bit because he was overworked last season. I think squad rotation's key over the next good few months, mate, because if this team get worn out and we can't do that run at the end of the season, which we might need to do, I hope not, but we might need to do, it could cause some problems. I don't know about throwing any games, but I wouldn't be scared of putting a weaker team out against Newcastle.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really want to throw it. I think when you got Pep Guardiola, and you've got this squad that you've got to just go for everything. And if something bad happens or something unlucky, a player gets injured, it is what it is. But I don't think we can come from where we've come from. And now, just within a space of a decade, be like, oh, no, throwing this competition. Like, I don't know. Like, rotation, yeah, I get, but you got to go for it. Bevo, I don't know if you have a different opinion on that or...
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like you were saying before about this mad run-up that we've got coming, I think as well what's going to help is who we've got in the Champions League. I think we can afford to sort of go in, get the points that we need, come towards sort of like game 3, game 4, and we can, pretty much guarantee to go through to the later stages. And I think we can start giving Rodri a rest, bringing on like Núñez, bringing on Kovacic, and just doing a bit of rotation because I think I worked it out. If we beat them, the first teams, and then we can go into the next game. As long as we win game 4, we've got game 5 and 6 where we can afford to rest some players, knowing that we're going through.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, to be honest with you, if we get to match day 5 in that Champions League and we're not already qualified, that would probably be disappointing because that would mean that we've dropped 100%. Points somewhere. And I'm not being funny, but Red Star Belgrade. Who else we got? Leipzig. I mean, put 7 past them last year. You know what I mean? Like, and luckily as well, like with the two, that Red Star Belgrade one, that's at home, and actually that one away might be the trickiest game because their atmosphere is crazy and like intimidating and that. But that's match day 6, so by the time we go there for that intimidating atmosphere, hopefully we're already qualified. Leipzig away. You know, I know you're away, but we should really be doing, you know, getting the 3 points there. Let's see you bring in. My man's just having a snack. Big
Yo! What's
What you
happening, brother?
What you saying, bro? You all right?
I'm good.
What you telling? What you saying?
I got the curry.
The guy's scranning, man. The guy's scranning.
Got the time of his life, this guy.
I know, man. Talk to us, man. What you saying? Say start to the season. What you saying about it?
Oh, it's been good. I would like to see Sergio Gomez play a bit more. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, I said the other day that I actually low-key would actually play him on the wing a couple of games just to see how he did because he come off the bench. Let's be honest, right? He obviously had a bit of a tough time last year playing left back. He's clearly not good enough to play at this level as a left back. But then you actually got to think about him. He was never a left back growing up. He was an attacking player, and he's been converted into a left back. He's gone to the Euros for Spain, done really, really well. We see 5 minutes of him against Fulham at the weekend, and that bit of play down that left-hand side was honestly like phenomenal. So I'm now starting to think to myself, I give him a bit of a hard time last year. I'm thinking maybe 100%. This guy actually could be an option. Like even if it's just in the rotational games, like Bevel will say, match day 5, match day 6, maybe some Carabao Cup games, just to take the load off Grealish, Doku, and Bernardo Silva. Like it could legit be an option. So you want to see more of Gomez?
Yeah, I think him and Haaland have a connection that people aren't queuing in on.
That goal reminded me of Kolarov and Aguero. You know, when Kolarov whipped it in against United, and he just kept on whipping him in, and he just banged it in. And yeah, I mean, I'm game for it. I'm happy to see it develop. Other than Gomez, what else you made for the start, bro?
I think it's been good. It's good to see Haaland getting his hat trick. Obviously, it's weird Pep not being there. I wonder if anything's going to change when Pep comes back. Any tactics, or are we going to play better, going to play worse? But I'm feeling good, confident. I think we can win it. Liverpool are the only team who I see being a threat. But honestly, I think this is our year. It'll just be a quadruple chill sort of year.
A quadruple chill sort of year. Nah. Honestly, man, I don't know who's going to challenge. You said Liverpool there. A couple of weeks ago, I was saying Liverpool, but they didn't sign a proper defensive midfielder, which I think is massively, massively weakened them because defensively, I mean, like 3 years ago, defensively, they were so good. Even with Trent at the back, they were still really, really good. And now they just look so average. And I think that a large part of that is down to the fact that they don't have a defensive midfielder that can provide that natural protection. So I don't think they're going to have quite enough to challenge us properly for the league. And I'm looking at Arsenal. I know it's only 4 games. They look like they've gone backwards. Luke, who do you see as our main sort of rival for the title?
I agree with Liverpool, but that doesn't. I don't think they'll rival for it. I'll be honest. I think I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx it, but I do think it would be somewhat of a landslide. To be honest, I think there'll be a battle for second, third, fourth. That's where the battle will be. I don't see anyone right now. I don't see anyone really challenging us. There's a hole in a lot of other teams' games where there isn't ours. And granted, we've scraped through one of our games and we've not looked incredible, but we've looked a lot better than everyone else.
Yeah. So you're saying Liverpool as well, but
I think Liverpool will come second. That's my prediction. Liverpool will come second, but I don't think they'll challenge us.
Bevo, you're going to make it a full house?
I don't know. I'm in 2 minds. I think Brighton are in with a shout. I think they look really, really good. I think they've got good depth. I think maybe Newcastle's in with a shout. I think adding Tonali, I think that's a great signing. I think with Newcastle having the group that they have, I think they can pretty much guarantee that they're more than likely not going to go through. And I think that allows them a bit more time to rest and have a bit more of a focus on the Prem. But yeah, Yeah, I'm probably going to say Liverpool.
You know who is looking good this year? Our favourite away day. Tottenham.
Yeah.
They're looking good, man.
Ange Ball.
Yeah, and they only have one game a week as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't write him off giving it a go.
For the league?
Yeah, no.
I said giving it a go. Come on, let's not get excited. But
I don't know.
I don't see anyone challenging us.
I think they've got a really good team and that, but I just think that like losing Kane at some point, that's gonna hurt them at some point. Like, I don't know. Richarlison ain't replacing all them goals. And I know people say you didn't have to, it'll be spread around the team, but to lose a man like Harry Kane, I do feel at some point it will affect them. I think the way that they've started the season, they look good for the top four. Like they look good for a top 5 Champions League push, but do they have enough? But then I say, do they have enough? But they're playing a game a week. Like literally, they finish a game and they've got a whole week to prepare for their next match. So I don't know, man. If Richarlison can find his shooting boots, then maybe they'll be up there. But I think it'll probably be Liverpool. Their
firepower against the top teams first.
Yeah, that's true. I just think Liverpool's firepower is unbelievable.
Do you think Liverpool still challenge without Salah?
Well, I'm kind of with Luke in the sense that like I think they will probably finish second, but I think that we'll end up walking it. We'll win it. I think we'll win it by 10 points, but they'll probably finish second. So they'll obviously drop. They won't get the same amount of points without Salah, but I don't know. I did a video on it today. It's a weird one with the Salah. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you sell him or keep him like to the Saudis. I'm tempted in selling him because I don't think you'll challenge for the league anyway. So you might as well sell him, get the cash, and then reinvest it in the summer. You know what I mean? And they've already got that 115 million for Caicedo. So they'll probably have like 300 million pounds that they can invest. That's unreal. I don't know. Well, what would you do? Would you sell Salah or would you keep him?
I'd sell Salah all day.
For his age, yeah, I think you have to take that money.
He's not going to be worth that much for very long.
But again, I flip the question, being a City fan, and I'm saying, do we sell De Bruyne for 200 million? And my answer's probably
no. But I think that's a different question, though, Bevel, because we're challenging for the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, every competition that we're in, we're going in it and we believe that we can win. Liverpool are not even in the Champions League. And I think that even if you found the most optimistic Liverpool fan, they probably wouldn't say they'll win the league. They might say they might have a goal, but I don't really think many Liverpool fans are going to say they're going to win the league. So then you're looking at it, and this is what I explained in the video. My point of view is you're effectively keeping Salah to what? Win the Europa League and have a crack at the domestic double. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, Liverpool are not there to win the Europa League and have a crack at them. They're there to win the Prem and the Champions League. And if selling Salah this year gets them a little bit further away from City this year, but then they've got £300 million next summer to go and invest into that squad, then maybe it's the right thing. And let's be honest as well, right? He's got 2 years left on his contract. So if you don't sell him this summer, he's only got 1 year left. And there's absolutely no way. If the Saudis come calling next year with a year left on his contract and say, here's 120 million, Liverpool are not rejecting that because they're not in a position to reject it. So you're going to keep him for a year when you're not even going to win anything anyway. Like,
and there's a risk of going for free after the 2 years as well.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But the question I guess it would be is if you, as a Liverpool, if you sell Salah, what does that say to the fan base? Like some fans might not have that sort of longer term view. They might be like, oh, no ambition. You know, does Klopp's probably not going to be happy because I can guarantee you now, Klopp's not sat there going, oh, we ain't going to win the league. He's probably sat there going, no, we want to try and win the league. We want to have a go at it. And if, you know, the board sells Salah from under him, like he's probably not going to be happy with that either. So, listen, I don't think it's a great position to be in. I don't envy the position that they're in. I think it's difficult. It's just what do you think is the correct thing to do?
If they was going to sell him, they should have done it a lot earlier anyway, because then they would have had time to replace him and all that. You know,
they did, but did they know that the Saudis were coming in?
Well, no. I think that's the only reason they're probably not really considering it now, because I don't think they will do it. I don't think they'll do it now. It's too late. They won't get a replacement, and it's too much of a risk. They could fumble Champions League again without Salah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Have you guys seen the Ballon d'Or? The Ballon d'Or stuff, the announcements have apparently just come out, like the nominations. I think Edison is in. has he been nominated for the goalkeeper of the year or whatever it is? He got it, has he?
Yeah, he's been nominated. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here you go. So Gvardiol, Ruben Diaz, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Erling Haaland, Alvarez, Rodri. However, strangely, no John Stones, which is interesting.
How many nominees are there in total have they announced so far?
I think is it 30? Is it Bevel?
Yes. Fabrizio put out 6 pages. And I think there's about 5-6 a page.
Jeez.
So trying to play devil's advocate, do you think John Stones is one of the top 30 players in the world?
Yeah.
I personally do, but
yeah.
Well, Ruben Diaz is in there
because I think to go from being a centre back to making the UCL Team of the Year as a midfielder, it's unheard of.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. He definitely should be in there.
Who's that? Martinez? Please don't tell me it's in from United.
No, Emi Martinez.
Is it? All right, okay. Yeah, because Kim Min Jae's in there as well. The only defenders that I can see here. There's 2 Martinez. Bevel. Who's the other one?
Oh, Lautaro.
He got nominated. I watched him in the
Not
World
a
Cup.
chance in the
He
world
was
is he nominated.
He was so bad. Yeah, but you defenders wise, you've got Gvardiol, Diaz, Kim Min Jae. I think that's it for your defenders. But for me, I don't know. I thought John Stones was like unreal.
Yeah.
Like he should be in there. I'm sorry, he should 100%. He should 100% be in there. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Season wouldn't have been the season it was without John Stones, mate.
No,
I 100% agree.
Not even
100%
close.
agree.
Yeah.
He absolutely fixes. I mean, to be fair, when Ruben Diaz come back in as well, like he slammed it, but we wouldn't have. I don't think we'd have been as successful as we were without John Stones stepping into that midfield because nobody knew how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because we only started doing it like with John Stones. Was it like February or March or something like that?
Yeah.
So it was in the business end of the season, and no one had seen us do it earlier in the season, so no one was prepared, and we just took everyone by storm. Like we were beating Bayern Munich 3-0, scoring 4 against Real Madrid. Like we were literally smashing the best teams in the continent. And one of the reasons that is because John Stones stepped into midfield and teams didn't know how to do it. So how he's not got in there is beyond me. But listen, it's a good debate at the moment between. I've seen a lot of people. My chat on my WhatsApps are going off as well. Lionel Messi versus Erling Haaland. Bevo, I'll come to you. Is where are you at with this one? I mean, Leo Messi smashed it. He did win the World Cup, but he's playing in France. Like, I don't know.
It'd be daylight robbery if Haaland didn't get it. It would. Because to go and break a record which has stood for what 30 years or something daft. No, not that long.
Which one? Because he broke so many.
About 23 years, wasn't it? Something like Shearer's record or however long it is.
Oh yeah. The 36 goals one.
Yeah.
Like
to do that in your first season and to go and score 52 in 53 games or something. It's unheard of. You don't do stats like that and not win Ballon d'Ors.
I know. I agree. But I just think that the World Cup's just people are just gonna vote for him because
the Ballon d'Ors FIFA. The Ballon d'Ors FIFA. That's all we need to say. The Ballon d'Ors FIFA and the World Cup's FIFA. If we really look at the Messi season and Haaland season, yeah, Messi did have a great season. Messi has a great season every season. But what Erling Haaland did this year is second to none. Yes, he won the World Cup, did Messi, but so did a 30-man squad or however many man squad it was. They all won it. Julian Alvarez won it, and he scored 17 goals this year, or I think it was that. We know Messi's going to win it, but I think we all know Haaland deserves it. A bit like when Lewandowski didn't get it when Messi won it. We all know Lewandowski should have got it.
Yeah. Well, it was that year, wasn't there, during COVID, that they didn't do the Ballon d'Or that year. And I think Messi, the year after Messi won it, and Messi said that he should have got it the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at his stats, right, Messi from last year. In League One, played 32 times, 16 goals, 16 assists, which obviously is fantastic, but, it's France, man. You know what I mean? And, it's
Who
been
won
demoted.
Player of the Year? last year. League One Player of the Year.
Oh, was it probably Mbappe, wasn't it?
Probably Mbappe,
Didn't he score like 50 goals or something in one
If it
season?
wasn't Messi, then Haaland definitely should win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Messi. I'm pretty sure it probably was Mbappe, because I'm sure Mbappe scored like 40 odd goals. You know?
Well, there you go. I mean,
and to be fair, Mbappe was fucking class in the World Cup. Wasn't he?
In the final.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? What, you got to give it Messi just because he actually won the trophy? Like, that's not how it should work. Yeah, it's not. That's not actually how the trophy should work. But as you said, like it is FIFA, and they do what they want. And clearly, Messi's their star boy. The one thing I would say is, if he doesn't get it, which I don't think he will, because I think Messi will get it, is he will get it at some point, because scoring 50 goals a season, like at some point, you're going to have to get it, right? And I think we'll win the Premier League this year. I think we've got a great chance of winning the Champions League again. And if you don't win it this year, it'll be next year, so the 2024 one. But yeah, it's crazy. We'll have to wait and see. Anything else you boys want to discuss before I wrap it up? By the way, if anyone else wants to jump on before I wrap it up, the link is in the community tab for members. But Bevo, anything you want to get on? Or?
No, not that I can think of.
I've got one name that I want to mention. I'd like to get your opinion, LB, on it. Jeremy Doku.
Oh, I was going to say Verts. No. Have you seen the thing? No. Have you seen the news that's come out today about Florian Wirtz?
No.
And Real told me it's been saying apparently City are like properly monitoring Wirtz. I thought you would have been all over that, mate.
Mate, no, I've not seen it. I will, but I'll be all over it though. And I'm claiming I got there first.
What did you say,
Jeremy Doku, mate? I'm seeing mixed things online, like of his performance. Like some people are saying like he's done well. Some people are saying he's not done well. They didn't like the look of him. Where do you stand with it? Like,
well, first of all, anyone that's making a judgment after 70 minutes or however many minutes have played, like seriously, man, like come on. It's his first game in the Premier League. We were poor for the large part of the game that he played. We were poor, so that's obviously going to impact him as well, because the rest of the team are being poor. He's 20 years old, so he's probably going to have some nerves, which I think he spoke about. I thought there were loads of positive signs. I thought how exciting it was to see a winger try and take on his man and go around the outside rather than just cutting in on their inverted foot like we've been seeing for the last year. Pace, directness. I think there was loads of positive signs. Was there stuff that needed to improve? Yeah, but did you honestly think that he was going to play against Fulham at home and drop a 10 out of 10 performance on his debut? Like, it's unlikely. This guy's young. So I was actually disappointed, man, to see so many people cooking the guy. I was like, fucking hell, man. Like, what is going on here, man? You got to give this guy time. But I think he'll be super excited. I stand by what I've said when we signed him, that he's going to frustrate people at times because of the way he plays, just like Raheem Sterling did. But if you give him time, by the way, as well, he's not actually trained with Pep Guardiola yet. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's quite mad.
It's still not trained. It's still not trained with the actual manager. To give him time, I think that the guy's going to be super exciting. I think he's going to add goals and assists to our team, which we're clearly lacking on the wings at the moment, because of course you got Bernardo and Grealish, you don't really score that many. So yeah, mate, I was happy with it. You know, I was content. I didn't think it was a great performance. I didn't think it was bad, but there were things there that I really liked. Well, what did you think? Where are you falling?
Same, mate. I saw loads of people cooking him, like you said, and that's why I brought it up, because I think he's a breath of fresh air for City. I really do. Like since Sterling went, we've not got any direct players that just run at people. Yeah, so they just run at them and really try and challenge the defenders. Whereas he really wants to get out wide, get the crosses in, really beat players. Whereas we've got players now that play it safe. They can't beat the player. They'll turn around, they'll pass it back, they'll cut in, they'll try and shoot. You know, the Mahrezes, the Palmers, them type players. He's a breath of fresh air, and I genuinely think he's got a lot of potential. Horizon ceiling with him, you know. But I think we need to give him time, man. He's going to be good.
I think so. Bevo, what did you make of him, man?
Yeah, a couple of things. So I thought he was he's really good in the sense that he's a very versatile player. He can play both sides equally as good as I think. I don't think he played worse on the left or the right. I think he was pretty good on both. But one thing I do want to mention, I was watching the Inside City when they signed him, and I really like his mentality, because I think one of the things that he said was he was doing like a jump test, and he said the first thing that he said was, "What's a good score?" And like that just shows that he's not come to sort of mess around. He wants to be the best that he can be, and he wants to really push himself. And I really like that, because for a young kid to come in and say, look, what's a good score? I want to get that score, or if not better it. That just shows him as a person and where he wants to go.
Yeah, I seen something along the similar lines when he moved. He someone interviewed him and asked him something, and he gave like a proper like bullish sort of response of like, yeah, I'm gonna be mint. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the reasons, by the way, players need like that year, because sometimes it's not just a tactic. Sometimes they come in and they're starstruck. They come in and they're looking at all these players and they're going, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? A bit of, what's it called? Imposter syndrome at times. You know what I mean? This guy don't have that, man. You know, he might not be great in his first year, but I don't think he's going to be needing that first year sort of pass. I think this year he's gonna do all right, because I think he backs himself. You know what I mean? He get the ball on the wing, and he's not going to get the ball on the wing and just be like, oh, I'm going to pass it inside to Kovacic. He's going to look at his man, because that's literally the first thing that he did when he got the ball, didn't he, at the weekend? I think the first time he got the ball, he tried to take on his man. He's going to get the ball. He's like, I'm taking you on. And if he doesn't work, he'll take you on again. He'll keep doing it until he gets around the player. And I think you're right. I think you've obviously spotted it from the inside City. I've seen it from some comments they made, but I think he just thoroughly believes in his ability. And but the quality that he's got, I just think he's going to be really good. I just think he needs a bit of time to settle, get Pep Guardiola coaching him and that. And I think we're going to see a different type
He's not scared to have the ball at his feet as well. You see a lot of players that get the ball, and then the first thing they're doing is looking around and seeing who's behind them, see if they can pass it back, see if they can do the safe option. Whereas him, he's just got eyes forward, at his man in front of him, beat him, and then work out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you know what?
One question as well after you finished, by the way.
Yeah, just quickly, I was just going to say, the other thing that I was actually quite impressed with was there were times when he just got the ball and played it safe, which actually, for a guy that young, on his debut, I think he's underrated. You know what I mean? People see him get the ball and just pass a 5-yard pass. You know what I mean? How many times did people slag Cole Palmer off for being too greedy or taking players on all the time?
Yeah.
Why? Because he wanted to impress. I don't think he called it. I know I defended him on that. I don't think he did it because he was greedy. I just think because he hardly got any game time, every time he got on the ball, I believe that he felt he had to do something to impress the fans and the manager. Doku got on the ball, and there were plenty of times when he just thought, nope, this isn't right for me to take him on, whether I don't back myself to get round him or they've got cover or Haaland's a little bit further behind where I want him to be. So actually, I'm just going to play the safe ball inside, just retain possession. Because that was one of the things that some people said, that he won't retain possession enough. And I think he's shown multiple times against Fulham that he can do that. Go on, Bevel. Sorry, mate. What did you want to say?
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, who are your picks for captain?
Oh, someone asked me that. My mate asked me that today. Let me see what I said. So I said what I think it will be is KDB, Walker, Rodri, and Diaz.
Yeah.
That's what I think the 4 will be. Normally, I know they normally have 5, but I'm not sure who would be the 5th one. But yeah, if it was me personally, I'd just give it Diaz.
Yeah, same.
I'd stop messing around. We all know that Diaz is the sort of quote-unquote real captain there with the way that he leads. He don't strike me as the player that's going to cause any issues or want to get off in a few years. Let's just cut the crap and let's just get it. So we're not going around this silly dance every 12 months, giving captain's armbands to someone else. I'm a bit more old school. I like the defender to be captain. I like to have an actual proper captain who's captain for many years. Yeah. And I think obviously Pep and a lot of managers that come from sort of Europe, not really, they don't see it as an important thing. Well, as important, but I think in this country, I think we do build it up. Maybe we build it up to more than it actually is. You know what I mean? And that could be evidence to the fact that we've been so successful over recent years, chopping and changing. But I just think some of these coaches don't think it's that important. But for me,
I think we've got a plan for Diaz. I think Pep's got a plan for Diaz, because how old is Diaz? What, 24 is he?
But still 24.
He's like 24. And how old's De Bruyne and Walker, and how long have they both been at the club compared to Diaz? So I think I do genuinely think his plan is for Diaz to be a long-term captain. But I think he's trying to ease him into it.
Yeah, I think for me, it's someone that has to play regularly. I don't think we can afford to, say, for example, give it to, I don't know, Walker. Don't get me wrong, love Walker. Think if he's going to be a shout for a captain, he should be right there off the pitch. But I think on the pitch, you need to also have the influence there regularly. And I think you look at who are the two players that kind of play pretty much game in, game out, and you're talking Diaz and Rodri. I think if you're going to be a captain, you need to be a captain sort of on the pitch playing regularly as well. And I think you'll see, like you were saying, with age, I think you'll see like Walker maybe miss a few games sort of mid-season to give him a bit of a rest. And, that'd be the same for other players as well. And I just think
why De Bruyne's our first choice captain at the minute then. Yeah. Because, and Walker, from what I've seen of him with the inside cities and on the pitch and stuff, he does look like a leader. Like you said, on and off the pitch when he's not whipping his pants down the club.
How good would it be? How good would it be though to see KDB lift the Champions League, man, or even just a Premier League that as a captain? I think it'd be class. But he's out till 2024, so
and he might take a few games to get back into it as well.
Yeah, so he's probably not going to be playing like proper regular football until sort of like February. So what you've got like September, October, November, December, January, like 5 months as a like. Maybe the players will vote someone else in. And like Walker could get it because at the moment he is sort of like the second choice, and he could get it. And like that could be one of the reasons maybe that he stayed because Pep was like, look, you're in with the shout. Where obviously the players are going to have a vote, and you're in with a shout of potentially becoming a captain. Like you could be the captain that lifts the Champions League or lifts a Prem. Maybe that was one of the reasons, but. I don't think Rodri would be a bad one. The only thing with Rodri is, at the moment, he's playing so well. Don't want anything to distract him. You know what I mean? It's funny. You know what I mean? Because I think part of the reason where United went a little bit wrong, not fully, was giving Maguire captaincy. I think that was completely the wrong thing to do. They signed him for 80 million quid, put him in a team, and then, I don't know how long it was, but it was pretty quick, made him captain. He's not even started defending.
We're trying to get the money's worth.
Well, yeah, but like, you need to let players just be the player first. With Rodri, he is the player, but I'm almost like he's already playing far too many minutes as it is. Do we really want to give him the extra workload of being captain, telling players what to do? You know what I mean? Liaising with the referee, going speaking to Pep on the sideline to integrate tactics. I think he could do it, and he'd be a great candidate for it, but. Literally, this guy's going to drop dead soon if we're not careful, man. Like he's being so overrun. Yeah. So for me, I think it's probably going to be Walker or Diaz. I think Walker's going to get it.
Do you know who goes under the radar? He's quite a good leader on the pitch. Wouldn't give him captain, but John Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do see him on the pitch. He does try and take charge, but again, I would never put him as captain, but just a shout.
He has been captain at one point. I saw a picture today. He was flexing his guns and he had the captain's armband on. And someone put in, they think that he's got a shout. And I agree.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Walker, I think Walker's going to get it. But I think it's going to be an interesting one. Big up to Tinsey, by the way, said, my Real Madrid friend said they will try and get Xavi from, is that Xavi Alonso? Osimhen for striker, Mbappe and Wirtz. Or Modric, Cruz next year. We have to get Wirtz. Yeah, well, Wirtz is obviously a player that a lot of people like. I know Luke's a massive fan of him as well. And like I say, Tommy apparently has tweeted today saying City are interested in him. But as predicted, as I said during the window, he just didn't want to move this summer because he's got the Euros and he didn't want anything to sort of distract him there. So that's fully understood why. You know what I mean? He's obviously got a great chance of playing regular football in the Euros and you don't want to make a move to a big club. Maybe form dips while he's sort of finding his way or whatever reasons, whole host of reasons, and then not get himself in the squad or in the match day team. So I can understand why that is. And obviously Leverkusen are not in any rush to sell. He's contracted until 2027. For them, they're like, if he has another good year, you're talking 120 million quid.
You're not going to dip after you've just been given the 10 as well, are you?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was never ever going to happen this summer, but next summer, yeah, potentially. I think it could potentially happen.
Better I'd do as well.
Yeah, you're desperate, man. You're desperate. Listen, boys, going to wrap up, man. I got another show to go on. It's Football's 12th Man podcast. If you guys want to follow me over there, I'm going to be speaking to Dan and a couple of the lads as we talk football. But massive shout out to Luke for coming on again, and Bevo making his debut on the channel. Massively appreciate it. Again, I'm going to run some more of these. I'll probably do a couple during the international break because there ain't really much going on. By the way, if anyone sees any decent fixtures, I promise you, I'm on live score every day, scrolling through the days looking for some decent fixtures. I want to get a couple of watch-alongs in for the international game. If anyone finds anything that is not going to like send me to sleep, then let me know and we'll get on it. But I've looked at the fixtures and they're the most dead fixtures I've seen in a long time.
Gibraltar, Malta.
Oh, fuck off, man. I want like I just wanted just one decent game, and I can't find it. So if anyone sees any, then just send me a message, leave a comment on the video, whatever, and we'll get on it. Other than that, we'll probably do England on Saturday. England, Ukraine, and then yeah, just let me know if you see anything. But it's this international break, man. It's a killer. Anyway, listen, I'm going to go. Stream will redirect you all the way to Football's 12-Man podcast. Big up to Luke again. Big up to Bevo. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.